What do some ministers do when they find a few minutes of spare time or find themselves awake in the night with some congregational concern? Some of you may wonder about that. If you ever have, well, I can tell you what's been occupying me. At Christmas time, I received the unexpected gift of a 1,000-piece puzzle of the moon. It's a very difficult puzzle, and at this rate, I just might have it finished by the end of the year, which is okay with me. Because when I take time to do this very simple physical act of trying to fit those puzzle pieces into place, I reconnect in a small but significant way with the concrete sensory experience of being alive in my body. Something I spoke about in the very first sermon in our body series a few weeks ago. This ordinary physical activity can be, for me, as the poet Rumi once said, a way of kneeling and kissing the ground, a form of simple sensory prayer, and of bowing down, too, to the sheer difficulty of the puzzle, not to mention the awe-inspiring enormity of life itself. After all, it is a puzzle of the moon, a celestial body, the contemplation of which puts my own small human body into helpful perspective. Somehow, through no effort of my own, I find myself here, in this body, in this place, for this short time, sharing cosmic space with other human bodies, animal bodies, bodies of water, celestial bodies, all moving together in circles, within circles, within circles. The moon puzzle prompts me to contemplate also how each of our bodies belongs within the whole, and that we are enough exactly as we are. As UU Minister Vanessa Southern wrote, you are part of the plan for the world's salvation, of that I have no doubt. The world needs its oceans of people striving to be good, to carry us to the shores of hope, and wash fear from the beachheads, and cleanse all wounds so they can heal. But oceans are big, and I am sure there are parts that don't feel up to the task of the whole some days. Just as the little puzzle piece I hold seems insignificant when I consider the enormity of the puzzle and the many pieces that have yet to fall in place. Sometimes this small body feels insignificant, and yet it is essential, and it is enough. It is enough, however it looks, and whatever it can or cannot do. Both the curse and the blessing of the moon puzzle and the body of life on Earth is that so many pieces look so similar, and yet they are in fact unique. So many times, a particularly shaped piece will seem to me as though it absolutely should fit in a particular place. Just like we human bodies may be absolutely sure that we have a particular solution to a particular problem, that some body should behave in a particular way, or that a particular person, place, or thing is the right one for us, only to find that in fact it is not a fit after all, and that we need to stay open to another solution. There are times when we may wish that our bodies were different in shape or size or sensibility, that they could accomplish tasks they once did, or find a place in a particular situation that's different than the one that we're currently in. There are times when I'm frustrated that the puzzle piece that looks so fitting simply won't go where I want it to, that something about it is wrong. But from the beginning of time, the notion of individual worth, the idea that every body has a particular shape and way of being that's essential to the whole, well, this is a central tenet of so much wisdom that keeps rippling out in wider circles as time goes on. This idea was expressed in a Christian text, in a letter to a community that Paul, one of Jesus' early followers, was trying to bring together with an inspirational message. He said, "The body does not consist of one member, but many. If the foot were to say, 'Because I am not a hand, I do not belong in the body,' that would would not make it any less a part of the body. And if the ear were to say, 'Because I am not an eye, I do not belong to the body,' that would not make it any less a part of the body. If the whole body were an eye, where would the hearing be? If the whole body were hearing, where would the sense of smell be? If one member suffers, all suffer with it. If one member is honored, all rejoice together with it." Similarly, going back even further to the Hebrew Bible, the book of Ezekiel tells the story of a valley of dry bones, which are brought back to life through the breath of God, or to use language familiar to us now, the Spirit of life. The song Danny sang earlier about each part of the body being connected to every other one is based on that ancient Jewish text. I'm sure many of you can think of other words of wisdom, both old and new, that speak to the whole being greater than the sum of its parts, and every part being valuable to the whole. For all the frustrations of my moon puzzle, there are times when all I can see is the scattered chaos of all the separated pieces. When I'm searching for one that is missing, and I fear that I've somehow lost it along the way, and that it will never be found. And yet, in the moments when the pieces click together, when a true and fitting connection is made, when I glimpse a vision of the whole and how I can put the next right piece into it, well, my body feels well and my mind comes to rest. I often wonder, actually, if perhaps we get a rush of endorphins when we solve puzzles of any kind, and I think we likely do. So where does your body fit? How are you connected to others in this interdependent web of existence? How do you hold the scatteredness of the pieces of your life within the broken wholeness that is this world? Our bodies seem so small, so simple, and yet they contain multitudes and could inspire a million meditations. They are worth reflecting upon with wonder every day of our lives, and gazing upon with reverence, just as we gaze with reverence on the moon and the stars from which we came.